Good morning, guys. This is Miss Dupree here with your Day 2 morning message for Unit 4, Week 9. I am going to go ahead and start off my morning message with my greeting. Dear readers, all right, so I'm going to make sure I indent, start with a capital letter. Today, we will be reviewing author's purpose. Authors, so notice I start that off with a capital letter now that I had my period right there. So authors. And we talked about plural, but you notice that I am putting an apostrophe S for authors because it's something that belongs to the author, which would be the purpose. So that is the authors. So we put our apostrophe S when we're showing possessiveness. Author's purpose is the reason behind the authors, and here is another apostrophe S, the author's writing. Period. What are they trying to tell us? So I used a question mark right here because that is a question. What are they trying to tell us? And so that means, what is the author trying to tell us? We will, capital letter, we will identify. So I'm going to kind of break that word. It's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to kind of break it up into smaller chunks. Identify the author's purpose in several. So when I say several, that means more than two, right? We're going to do a few of them, several short passages. For example, are they, meaning the authors, trying to persuade us to believe something? So, for example, are they trying to persuade us to believe something? Okay, so now let's look back. There's a few things that we can talk about throughout our writing. I'm sure you guys noticed a few things. We've talked a little bit about vowel teams. We knew that there was the EA that made that long E sound in there, but we also had some of the final E sounds, and I kind of wanted to talk about that because it also has an inflectional ending, and we have been discussing those inflectional endings. So right here where it says writing. So with the word reviewing, it's not so hard because we could just add the ing, but when we have the word write and we want to add ing, this is what the word would look like before the ing. So we have to remember to drop that E and then add the ing. But this is a vowel team right here, right? Because that final E causes that vowel to say the long sound. So these are all kind of things we have to think about. And as we get more practice with this, it will be a lot easier for us and it'll come naturally. So we had writing, reviewing, trying. Let's see if I saw any more of the inflectional endings. There's another ing for trying. All right, and then I wanted to kind of talk about something else that we've learned in our spelling patterns and stuff was our controlled vowels, right? So we've talked about those before, and there were a couple on here. We had the our controlled vowels in purpose. Okay, and let's see, there's purpose again. And then we had the OR, our controlled vowel, right here in short, and or. All right, so those are good things to remember because we don't necessarily hear that vowel sound because we have to remember what that R controlled vowel chunk sound makes. All right, and one other thing I wanted to kind of point out to you guys. So in my writing, I decided to use a little bit of academic vocabulary. So I chose to use some bigger words, okay? So I'm going to highlight a few of the words that I chose to use and we can kind of talk about them. So when I said right here, we will identify the author's purpose in several short passages. So identify is kind of a big word. It's an academic word, okay? So a lot of times if we were just talking, we could say we could figure out what the author's purpose is, or we could say what the author's purpose is. But if we want to use some academic vocabulary, it would sound really good to say identify. And also, the word passages was another big academic vocabulary right there. So let's think about what does this mean? We will identify the author's purpose in several short passages. So we could say instead of passages, it might be writings or paragraphs. But this is a better way to say it. It kind of makes it a little bit more interesting, sounds a little bit more professional. And another big vocabulary word is persuade. I like that word. So basically it says, for example, are they trying to persuade us to believe something? Are they trying to make us believe something? But persuade sounds a lot better than the word make, right? So we had a little bit of that academic vocabulary, which we've touched on in Unit 4. And there was some linking language in there that we've talked about. We know today is one. We've talked about that a lot. But there was another good one today, and it was for example. That is a good linking language word for giving examples of things, right? All right, guys, that was all we were going to talk about today. I hope that you guys have a great day.